Now, listen, you guys, not the entire industry finally accepting the truth about Bongo 2, and that as a star, she is not on Nicki Minj's level, and it's actually quite disrespectful to put her in the same conversation with the queen of rap. We're going to be talking about Akademiks calling Bongo 2 mid, and we will also be discussing on whether he is being biased, because you guys know that, well, he is friends with the Transformer. And at the same time, we're also going to be discussing about TMZ. They are being accused of turning against Beyonce, and Pop Bess is also being equally dragged on Twitter as people are saying that their posts are beginning to look like paid promo. Aalia Banks, on the other hand, is out there declaring to be an OG bub, and we're going to be talking about Trippie Red and what he did to Leray, as well as Birdman letting us know about Nicki Minj and Lil Wayne and the amount of revenue that they generated for Young Money. Hello, tea lovers, and welcome to the tea plug. I trust you guys are doing well, and I trust you are doing great. Personally, I am doing great, you guys. I am doing extremely amazing. And without further ado, let us dive straight into today's tea. So, first of all, let us talk about TMZ. TMZ is actually getting accused of being shady towards Beyonce. You guys do know that yesterday, a lot of blogs were running with the narrative that, the Cowboy Cater tour is not sold out. And one of the publications that surprised people is none other than TMZ, because if you do pay attention in history, TMZ has always been biased towards anyone that has anything or any ties to Fraudulent Nation. And seeing that Beyonce is literally the wife of the man behind Fraudulent Nation, of course, they've never really been that hard on her. And so people are like, what's going on? Did Jay-Z not cut them their check? What is happening? Because they were literally dragging this woman, running different narratives yesterday. Now, a paragraph that has been quoted, from an article that they wrote yesterday reads, Bey seemed a little oblivious over the ticket sales, dropping an IG teaser Sunday showing off the venue with the caption, "She coming," but someone might want to give her a heads up that no one is coming. Wow. TMZ, really? Really? What is this? Especially the last part was just so nasty when they say that, well, somebody might need to tell her that no one is coming. I cannot believe that TMZ would do this, especially seeing how careful they have been towards anyone with ties to Rock Nation. But call me a conspiracy theorist, but this could also be promo in an adverse way, where they are trying to make it seem like, people are expecting low sales and all of these things just for people to be gagged when, the tour, in fact, makes history and breaks records and stuff like that. So it could just be a thing where, they want to use the shock value of, but TMZ say this, so that the conversation can get going, because this is very unusual for TMZ. Another blog that is actually being dragged over the Cowboy Cater tour is none other than Pop Bess. Fans are calling them out, and they are saying that they are now beginning to seem like a fan account, because, they made probably 20 posts about the Cowboy Cater tour, to a point where I'm like, okay, what's happening? It was really giving real-time reporting. So people thought like, well, did they get paid to promote the Cowboy Cater tour so that, they can create hype behind the tour? Now, is it far-fetched for, artists and artist team to play certain blogs, to push the tour so that it makes noise? It's absolutely not foreign. Beyonce is not the first one to do it, and she's not going to be the last one to do it. However, seeing how people have been saying that, well, her show is not selling, she really needed that promo, of course. And that also being said, when I look at their reports, I think one of their journalists is actually on the ground and is giving real-time updates, which is not foreign for any media publication whatsoever. So I don't see anything wrong if there is a journalist on the ground. We all saw the noise that the Renaissance tour did. So it's not foreign for them to just independently or, just voluntarily send someone there so that they can get the tea in real time. It's not shocking at all. This is going to be trending and it's going to help help their page. So looking at it honestly from both sides, it could be any of the two, paid promo or just them going out there to do their job. But anyway, let me know in the comment section, you guys, what you think about that. Now, another person who was amazed by the Cowboy Cater show, the first show, is none other than Lizzo. Lizzo made a video yesterday basically in the bathroom telling us about, how Blue Ivy was out there performing and all of these things. And people are like, what are you doing? It's giving performative. What are you doing in the bathroom if you went to someone's show and all of these things? And one thing about Lizzo is I do believe that she has mastered the craft of clout. Negative or positive, she knows how to make you people talk about her, and I will always respect her for that. But anyway, let me insert what Lizzo had to say, and then I'll catch you guys after that.
I'm at the Beyonce concert. Let me tell you something. She brought Blue and Rumi on stage. By the way, Blue, we know, consummate performer. Rumi, filled with love and light and joy and purity and kind and sweet and excited. And I need that energy reciprocated. And to see that energy being reciprocated by 70,000 people at once, by a black mother to her black child, a black girl, broke me in the best way. I love you.
Well, there you heard that, you guys. There you heard that. Now, the next thing that we're going to be talking about, we are going to be talking about Aalia Banks. It seems like recently Aalia Banks has been a bub, and she was just out there dishing out Nicki Minj information. Oh my God, praising her. But one thing about Aalia Banks is she will praise you today, and tomorrow she'll switch up on you and start talking crazy. But people were clocking her for the past couple of days, saying that, well, you're trying so hard to be a bub. And lo and behold, Aalia Banks is out there coming out pledging to be an OG bub. Now, let me know in the comment section, you guys, what you think about that. Let me just read the last tweet from here about Nicki that I saw, where she was basically pledging her barbihood, babishan. Anyway, let me read what she said. So someone said, you're really fishing for that feature, huh? And that was after, of course, the post that she had made praising Nicki Minj. And she said, absolutely not. Laugh my behind off. Reject me once, and that is more than enough rejection for me. I'm very masculine in that way. I do not like rejection, but I'm not so resentful about it in the way that it would make me deny myself the enjoyment of Nicki Minj. Classic Gemini. And she also said, I am an OG bub. Y'all new to this. I'm true to this, okay? And interesting times we're entering into. Let me know in the comment section, do you guys accept Aalia Banks as a bub, or are you just looking at her like, go play with Kanye as you always do and leave us alone? Now, the next thing that we're going to be talking about, we're going to talk about Nicki Minj and, of course, Lil Wayne. Birdman is letting us know that, well, whilst Lil Wayne and Nicki Minj were on Young Money, and Drake as well. Oh my God, I cannot believe that I'm saying Nicki, Lil Wayne, and Drake as well. He's revealing that, well, they all made Cash Money a combined $2 billion. And so people are having a conversation about that, as some people feel like, well, that's quite low for those three legends. And some people are also, the fan pages are beginning to go back and forth, as the Drake fans now feel like, well, Drake obviously made the most than the two. And And honestly, I don't know if these people know what they're talking about, because this is about the money that they made when they were still, at Cash Money, not the money that Drake made later after getting his deals and getting in bed with Lucian, okay? They need to know the difference, okay? Back in the day, Lil Wayne and Nicki Minj were really, truly popping like that. So I don't know if they're having amnesia or if they just didn't comprehend about, the period that is being spoken about. So let me know in the comment section, you guys, what do you think the split is like? Just a rough estimation of the 2 billion. Who do you think made what? I would like to know what you think about that, in the comment section. Now, moving on to the next thing that we are going to be talking about. In the topic of men, okay, men, one thing about men is they always know how to embarrass you on the internet. Now, you guys do know that Leray is expecting a baby. And honestly, I do feel like pregnancy is the most sensitive time, for anyone's life. And the people that you keep around really do make a difference. Look at me, it's not sounding like I've ever given birth. But you get what I'm saying? We know these things, eh? Sometimes I really do sound like an African grandmother, okay, giving advice to people older than me sometimes, and people that have experienced things that I've never, but you get what I'm saying. I just feel like pregnancy is sacred, okay? And when your own baby daddy is your enemy, it just becomes a horrible experience. And I feel like in this period, this is what exactly Leray is going through. Now, not only did this man come out here and cheat on her, but this man is steady embarrassing her on the internet, okay? Because he's out there posting a new girlfriend whilst, can't you just wait for 9 months? Can't you wait for that lady to just deliver her baby? We get it, you want to move on and stuff like that. You want to flex and stuff like that. But you couldn't even just prioritize for 9 months to just not embarrass the the future mother of your child. You cannot do that. This man posted who literally had the backside that is as big as I don't even know. And when you look at Leray and you look at the contrast, how are you, what are you trying to do? How do you think Leray is going to is actually going to feel seeing that woman with a backside like that, and she's the opposite of that? What are you doing? Why are you messing with this girl? Sometimes men are really, truly just losers, you guys. But as if that is not enough, he further decided to go on the internet to further embarrass her. I guess it's not enough drama that he was out there posting that woman. He had to go an extra mile and let the internet know that, Leray banned him, from coming to the baby shower. And I'm like, why are you telling people this? Men nowadays, you guys, I don't even understand what's going on. You people need to be taken to initiation so that you can become real men. Because what are you doing? Okay, I'm just joking. But it's embarrassing, honestly. This man said, and before the actual baby shower happens, I'm just letting you know that she doesn't want me or my family there. She said, talk to the lawyer. And he also did reveal that, after paying for that, I had to do that. And I'm just looking at him like, boy, go away, man. Go the F away with your synthetic dreads. Okay, I'm just joking. I don't even know if his dreads are real or not. But yeah, you're annoying us now. Anyway, let us move on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about DJ Akademiks weighing in on Bongo 2's numbers. I guess he has been getting requests for him to talk about Bongo 2 flopping, the song Whenever flopping. And according to him, he does not want to drag Bongo 2 because of that. But in actual fact, I feel like he strategically still dragged her, because this man was out here talking about she has always been mid. And he was like, I don't know what you guys were expecting from her. Personally, I just admitted from way back that she's not in the category. She mentioned Doja Cat, she mentioned Bongo 2, and she mentioned Nicki Minj. And I'm like, to begin with, Akademiks, before we get into everything that you had to say, a little point of correction. Of all the women that you mentioned, none of them are in the category with Nicki Minj. They didn't even make top 10 on that list. So let's start with that. Doja Cat, Nicki Minj, and Cardi B are not in the same category. They are not on the same level. Correct that first, Akademiks, and then we can get into whatever points you had to make. Because the fact that is out there trying to group them together, trying to group Nicki Minaj and the Transformer in number 11, how do you even categorize number 1 and number 11? Number 11 is not even in top 2. Should we now start doing arithmetic? But anyway, so Akademiks went in on Bongo 2 and basically say that, well, she also does have a lot of enemies. And it's very funny to me when I see some people saying that each time that Bongo 2 gets criticism, they are quick to label, oh, it's the Babs. No, Bongo 2 has made a lot of enemies. A lot of them. A lot of enemies. And some of them have got nothing to do with Nicki Minaj. And I think it's high time people just accept that. Number 2, not all criticism is coming from a point of being a hater or an enemy. But sometimes people are just telling the truth, because I don't understand how they're out there writing sympathy campaigns just because she couldn't sell. And people said you should change your flow. Like, imagine. So don't worry, you guys. I will insert what Akademiks had to say and why he was out there calling. But he did call her mid, you guys. He called her mid. But I also want you to keep in mind that Akademiks and the Transformer are tight. So if he knows that there's something going on behind the scenes between Bongo 2 and the Transformer, trust me, he is going to take the Transformer side, because the Transformer voluntarily goes with her own information and her own tea to Akademiks in exchange for being talked about in a nice way. Allegedly. Because you will hear Akademiks say, Cardi B respects me. I talk to Cardi B. Oh my God, I talk to her. And I look at her and I'm like, girl, the day that you're going to realize that no true blog has got your back is the day you're going to make peace with the fact that you're a celebrity and people are always going to have opinions and they're not always going to side with you. And it is okay. Rather than going all around asking for marriage advice from Akademiks, what are you doing? So in that entire commentary, I also do want to keep that in mind, that Akademiks is besties with the Transformer. And there's also a situation that happened when I was away, when people were like, oh, wow, is Akademiks talking about the Transformer when, he was like, well, after, somebody accidentally liked the tweet, they told me not to talk about it or stuff like that. And I was just like, everyone was like, okay, it seems like the situation where the Transformer liked it, that Tory Lanez tweet. So, yeah, I will definitely insert what the man had to say. And let me know in the comment section, you guys, if you do agree with him. And if you also do think that he's coming from a point of objectivity or if he's coming from a point of bias. Personally, I get the point. But at the same time, your best is with the Transformer. And allegedly, the Transformer was getting shaded and, in that song. But if the two of them were ever to publicly fall out, that would be such a, spectacle, because I do know that by virtue of ties to Fraudulent Nation, there are certain blogs that would take Bongo 2's side. And by virtue of getting free tea from the horse's mouth, there are certain blogs that would take the Transformers side. So it would be the battle of the Rock Nation blogs and the battle of those blogs that benefit from the Transformers tea that she feeds them. It would be interesting. But I don't think that after that I'm going to be coming back. So I will insert Akademiks tea. Thank you very much for watching. And thank you very much for making it this far. If you have not already, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button and do turn on the notification bell so that you will be notified each and every time that I post. And until my next one, see you.
That's that bad, bro. I can't even clown her like that. Yo, and here's my thing, bro. For everybody, and I know there's a lot of people who Tory Lanez, and you want to see Meg fail and you want to clown her. I'm gonna kick the real, whether y'all like it or not. You know what I mean? By the way, oh yeah, did I see Drake fans are mad at me because I gave Kendrick props for rapping word for word at his concert? I'm like, yo, that nigga, that's some dope shit. I don't care who did it. So I get it. Sometimes I get there's narratives, and whenever I speak against it, people feel like I either switching sides or they don't people want me to say what they want me to say. No, I'm gonna always say what I think is the truth. I'm not clowning Meg Thee Stallion for 1.2 million views or streams in 4 days. Here's why I'm not clowning her. We had this whole misconception that Meg Thee Stallion was like next up to be in the realm of like Cardi B, Doja Cat, and Nicki Minaj. That's just not true. Okay? In reality, Meg Thee Stallion is not even hotter than Glorilla. And I'm not saying this to disrespect her. I'm just saying the truth. So when y'all are telling me about flop, for me, a flop is always proportional. A flop means that you think this person is going to do this, but they do this, right? Like, for example, if we, like, you know, people call Uzi's last joint a flop because we thought he was going to do over 100, he did 60. That's why it's a flop. 60 these days for everybody else is like a really huge hit. But for him, it was seen as a flop. So it's all about what you expect versus what you get. For me, I don't have high expectations of Meg Thee Stallion. I don't think Meg Thee Stallion is that lit. I think all that hot girl shit, yeah, that's kind of cool. But I think Meg Thee Stallion is someone who's a mid-level female artist. I think her buzz a little bit. When she disappeared, I think people have kind of switched on her from the Tory stuff a little bit. And I think that she hasn't had a really hot song in a while. So when you want me to just clown her for flopping, it's like, what was the expectation of her doing? Meg isn't hot. Meg isn't Cardi. Meg isn't Nicki. What the hell you expect her to do in terms of numbers? Because I don't have that much expectations of her. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm just going to look at these numbers and I'm going to be like, yeah, that's kind of what I expect. Also, as she transitions to Roc Nation or however her contract's going to go, because she's off of 1501, even though she supposedly had some obligations left to, you know, she signed to Warner. Bro, she's just got to build back a little bit, man. I told you there's a lot of like obstacles in her way, but if you thought she was some huge artist, no. So 1.2 million streams in 4 days, that's about right. I don't think she's a huge artist at all. Okay? So yeah, I think that's